Did you know not all seeds are created equal? You know, when you do this, though, the mic picks it up, so just be careful when you. No, I mean, no.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. Ben and Denise here, and today we're talking about seeds because it is that time of year.
Yes, we've got a lot of planting to do.
Yes, we do.
So we are talking about the difference between heirloom and hybrid, and this is a question that comes up a lot. So what is the difference? So there is some contention over what constitutes an heirloom. Some people believe the seed needs to be 100 years old. Some people believe it needs to be over 50. Main consensus is that it's any seed that's over 40 years old. And an heirloom seed is an open pollinated seed. It's a seed that is pollinated by wind or insects, things of that nature. And it's seeds that have been tested and have been around for at least 40 years. So they are typically passed down from family to family or community to community. And one of the main benefits of heirloom seeds is you can grow them again next year. So you can save the seed, and as long as they haven't cross-pollinated with another species that's close to them, then you can get the same plant next year. So for example, we planted mortgage lifter tomatoes last year. We absolutely loved the mortgage lifter. If we had planted it next to a brandywine and they were close together, because they're open pollinated, the wind or an insect might have basically put a brandywine and the mortgage lifter tomatoes together, and it would have created a different tomato plant. So that's why typically if you're saving seeds, you want to make sure that you have those varieties close, that you keep the varieties close together, but make sure any other variety is a little further away, so that you get true to seed type next year.
Right,
So,
but the crossbreeding isn't necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't mean it won't grow. It just means that in that instance, we'd have a brandywine mortgage lifter crossbreed. You know, it could grow. It might be even better tomato, but it will still grow.
It'll still grow, but it won't be the true type tomato that we enjoy.
It will no longer be a mortgage lifter or a brandywine.
Exactly.
And I want to back up a second. You said it has been tested, not necessarily lab tested, meaning tested by years of planting the same seeds over and over again.
Exactly, and it takes typically several generations to get a true heirloom seed. Now, for us, we buy heirloom seeds. We like to know that they've been around for a while. We like the history of them. And we've even talked about doing like a once a month history of plant series for y'all. So let us know if you'd be interested in that. There's some really cool stories in the heirloom seeds.
She loves to research, so she finds these things. And it's like, oh, wow, I had no idea that, you know, the Romans were, you know, growing these seeds, you know, a couple thousand years ago.
So yeah, it's really cool. So we typically do heirloom, and another reason we like heirloom seeds is because we want to save the seeds. For us, self-sufficiency is the name of the game, so we want to make sure that we can plant those and get the same results year after year after year.
Yeah. Which is why last year you saw we made a very strong effort. I don't know what the right word is here. We separated our corn. We have heirloom corn from Thomas Jefferson. We planted those completely way far away from our other corn that we were growing because that is very, very much wind pollinated, and we did not want to lose that heritage breed from Thomas Jefferson. So.
Yeah, we did the Thomas Jefferson in our main garden area, and then we created a separate garden area for, I believe it was Bantam corn. Now, the Thomas Jefferson seed didn't grow very well, so we
had
actually have not had much luck at all with the Thomas Jefferson.
No, we had a dry season,
We
so we
did.
definitely want to try it again. Just, like I said, I love the history of that, but we'll try them again. We did save some of the seeds.
We did.
In fact, we really didn't even eat any of it other than a couple of tastes, but
Yeah, but for the most part, we're trying to save the seed. But that's essentially heirloom. Now, a hybrid seed is a seed that it's all about human intervention. So it's what we talked about before, those cross-pollinating. So typically they'll take one plant and they'll combine it with another plant. And the purpose of that is to get either a desired yield, pest resistance, like mold or fungus resistance. So it's to try to make the plant better. The issue with the hybrid, or sometimes you'll see on the seed packet F1, the issue with that is it's not true to type. So you can save the seed, but you are not going to get the same type year after year. You probably won't get the same yields. You probably won't get the same pest resistance. So the issue with hybrid seeds, they're not bad. It's just whatever you prefer. But the issue is you have to buy them year after year after year, because you're not going to be able to save that seed and replant it and get the same type of plant next year. And it's all about human intervention.
right. So it's a real diamond versus a lab-created cubic zirconia, but also, you said not true to the original plant, but you've also got a very low germination rate. So you can save those seeds, but you might not get any of them that germinate.
Yeah, and some might germinate, but you won't get, and I shouldn't say, and when I say the same type of plant, I'm talking about the type of fruit that's on the plant. So if you buy a hybrid tomato, and then you try to save those seeds and plant next year, you're not going to have the same tomato. So there's no guarantee of that. And that's why you have to buy seeds year after year after year. We don't want to do that. So that's why we typically do heirloom. But one thing I want to mention, a lot of people think GMO seeds and hybrid are the same. They're not. All right. So the difference is that GMO seeds are manipulated at the cellular level. It's typically companies like Monsanto who create these GMO seeds, and then they sell those seeds to farmers. And we don't want to get into the ins and outs of genetically modified seeds. I just wanted to give you just a breakdown of what they are. And a lot of times they're done for pest resistance, things of that nature, but it's manipulated at the cellular level. And the thing about GMO seeds is they're not sold to the public. They are sold to farmers. And then the farmers cannot save those seeds legally. Monsanto actually owns that seed. So every year the farmer has to go back and they have to purchase that seed from Monsanto. So
They're contracted.
they're contracted, exactly. So like your corn crop is a big, not a sweet corn, just a standard corn crop. Sugar beets, alfalfa, cotton, papaya. Those are just some of the main GMO seeds that are grown. So if you see on a seed packet that it says non-GMO that you're buying at the store, like say Walmart or something, it's a marketing ploy, because none of the seeds that are sold to the public can be genetically modified seeds. So just keep that in mind. And just like on wheat bread, we don't like buying non-organic because of all the chemicals they put on it, all the glyphosate. But wheat is not a GMO crop. So when you see non-GMO on wheat bread, well, wheat's not a GMO crop. So a lot of this is marketing, but I wanted to let you know kind of what the difference is. So GMO is basically done at the cellular level by humans, and that it is sold to farmers. It cannot be sold to the public.
No, we have not saved enough seed yet. So, and
You got fuzz on your shirt.
Yeah, there's a lot of different, lot of different plants that we want to try. I mean, when we get out of the RV, we will lay out all the seed packets we have. I mean,
We have a lot.
we have
We have a problem.
We have a problem. An addiction to seeds. But yeah.
Having a seed vault is really smart, especially right now.
Yeah, and I know people have done review of like the zombie apocalypse disaster garden seed packs, and I guess apparently a lot of them don't germinate very well. I'm guilty. I've got one. It's really cool. My sister got it for me, and we have used some seeds out of there, and they did okay. But we do try to support, like M.I. Gardner. He's got a great shop, great different varieties of seeds. If you can find a local group, that's even better, because those are seeds that have been adapted to your zone.
Yes.
So if I'm buying something from like M.I. Gardner in Michigan, they can stand colder than we can, but it might not do as well in the heat. we haven't had that problem, but I'm just, throwing that out there that, if you can find somebody local to even barter with, you've got some corn, they've got some wheat or, whatever it is, and trade and get those growing. But
yeah, and if you plant, so a lot of times what happens, so that your first generation can do very well, but as you save those seeds, they become acclimated to your climate, to your area, to all the nutrients in your soil. So typically second, third, fourth generation seeds are going to do better because they are acclimated to your area. But like Ben said, check and see if there are groups near you that are saving seeds that you can barter with, that you can trade with. We do a lot from MI Gardener. So True Seeds, another one. Seed Savers. I know Haas Tools does a lot of heirloom seeds. So there's a lot of seeds out there, and hopefully the wind's not affecting the microphone. But there are a lot of really great groups out there. But like you said, see if you can find some local farmers in your area or local people that are saving seeds, because then you can support each other, you can support a local farm, and really get the seeds that you want acclimated to your area.
Well, and a couple of channels have done, like Pinball Prepper. He did a group where they were sending out boxes of seeds. He sent them, I think, 5 different directions. There was so much interest in it, and you get the box, you take some, you put some back in, send it on to the next person. Really,
hopefully we get it soon.
We already got it.
No, oh, that's right. We got it. I'm saying the other people. There's been a lot of people that are still waiting for their seed.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it gets through soon.
Yeah, the key to something like that is you've got to turn around the next day. Don't hold on to it for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, because, people are just now getting it. In some climates, they should have already had stuff in the ground.
Exactly. And then Celtic Roots Farm actually did one as well.
Yes, just recently.
Yes.
They just closed the door on that one. So, but, maybe one of the YouTube channels out there that you like besides us, maybe we'll do one in the future, but has a seed exchange going on. But we in Chandler had, Chandler, Arizona, had at the library, there was a seed exchange, and I went to check it out, and most of it was just little, like the 10-cent packets from Walmart or whatever. There wasn't anything overly exciting there, but it was just neat that like-minded people there together and talking about gardening and things. So.
Yeah, and one thing, we had some subscribers ask us, like when we put the potatoes in the ground, ask us if you could do store-bought. I would say you possibly can if they're organic. Typically things like potatoes and tomatoes and other things are, number one, sprayed with pesticides, and the tomatoes are part of the Dirty Dozen, so Google that. You'll definitely want to look that up. Yeah. It's vegetables you want to avoid because of the chemicals on them. But they get a chemical sprayed on them that typically preserves them, so you don't have much luck. I know some people have, but for the most part, you don't have much luck with store-bought seeds unless they're organic. So just keep that in mind. You could try it, but you could try it. Just don't expect great results. If you get them, great.
Yeah, you've got nothing to lose except the gardening space that you're waiting for these plants to come up in. But I would, if you're starting from seed, you might want to put them in little seed starter packs. And going back to the whole 2 is 1, 1 is none, I would, in your little starter things, I'd put 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 of those seeds and see if any of them come up. But
yeah, and we focus on organic here. Obviously, no, we don't use chemicals. Even on our animals, we use natural dewormers. We don't want chemicals in our food. And I would say normally find organic sources. But right now, I would say with everything going on, with what's coming, just get food in the ground, please. If you're watching and you have not gotten a garden, even if you have small space, look up vertical gardening. Get something in the ground. If you're in an apartment, you could do some grow lights and set up a grow light station. Just try to get something in the ground because food is just going up and up and up. And there's a lot of things going on, and we want y'all to be okay and prepared. Yeah,
there's a couple channels out there, and I cannot name them off the top of my head, that actually lived in an apartment and grew on the balcony. And it wasn't any more than just
Eric Sider, Billy.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric Sider.
He took a bag of mulch, just the whole bag, threw that down on the patio, and basically cut a square out of the top and grew right in there. That, no boxes, no raised beds, nothing like that. Grew right there on his patio in his apartment complex. So try it. You've got nothing to lose and really everything to gain.
Yeah, and if you are in an area where you just absolutely cannot garden, get extra food, please. Go get dry good, beans, rice, things of that nature. We've talked about it before. I'm just going to tell you, we're just urging you to please take care of yourselves, take care of your family. We honestly believe that this situation is going to get worse.
Well, is it Sweden? No, not Sweden. Which is it that produces?
Norway.
Norway produces half of the wheat.
Not wheat, vegetables.
Vegetable. Well, somebody
The
was talking
wheat,
about
the
the
wheat's
wheat.
from Russia and Ukraine.
Well, I know, but there was
typically.
another. Well, anyway, maybe it's Sweden. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm messing that up. But they've already announced that they've only got half the crops coming in that they had the year before. And if they're one of the #1 suppliers over there of vegetables and food, that should tell you something. So just, if you can. But I want to step back 1 second. She was talking about us not using chemicals here. The creek's right behind us. I could go stick my face in that and drink from it and not have to worry about it because it's coming right out of the side of the mountain here. I don't want to put anything in the ground that's going to go into that stream and go down to my neighbors and our friends. I mean, we don't like chemicals anyway, plus it's not as sustainable because every year we'd have to go buy more chemicals and more fertilizer, more dewormers and all those things. If we can do it naturally with stuff that we have on hand, all the better.
Yes. So, but we wanted to give you all just a quick video on what the differences are in seeds, and just kind of urge y'all to, if you haven't yet, just get some kinds of preparations. Just because we know food prices are going up, we know that there are supply chain issues. The whole thing with Ukraine and Russia, a lot of the world's wheat comes from Ukraine and Russia. China's bought up like 60% of the world's grain right now in stores. Plus we have the fertilizer issue. We know gas prices are going up. So we just want y'all to be okay. So on a positive note, spring is in the air. We're seeing dandelions come up. We are supposed to have another freeze coming up soon. Hopefully, it's only supposed to be 28, so hopefully it's not too bad. But we've got kale in the ground. We've got beets in the ground. We're trying to get the spinach up. Onions in the ground, chives in the ground. So we're trying to get our early spring crops in, and then we'll start our tomatoes and bell peppers soon. But it's almost spring.
Potatoes are in the ground.
Potatoes are in the ground, yes. So it's spring, it's growing season, and you can get outside. Beautiful, beautiful weather.
Exactly. And rain on Wednesday, so that'll be perfect for this. But before you know it, we'll be behind again.
Yes.
We're racing to get them in the ground after the last freezes, and then it'll be too warm to get them in the ground because it'll be too late. So
yeah,
get that narrow window.
Yeah, spring to fall are extremely busy on homesteads. Extremely busy.
I picked a really good time to hang up my my belt at the bank.
That's true. You've got 4 days left.
4 days left.
Freedom!
Freedom! I've already got a video in mind for that day. So.
Oh, all right.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Thanks for joining, everybody. As always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, get the pets spayed and neutered. God bless, and we will see you on the next video.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.